Amazing experience in life, I would think. I am interested to know also whether from life you sometimes take characteristics of people and fictionalize around them. I know in this particular book you had something of a model for the dog, yes?
Oh, yes, my daughter's dog, Lucky. But you couldn't call him a suspense novel. You can't keep calling a dog Lucky. Kind of breaks the feeling. So I called her Bess because I feel that this little Maltese, 9 pounds, and who is, lucky in real life. And Lucky thinks herself the Queen of England. She has her own chair, her own place on the couch. She leads the life that every dog should lead. So I thought of Bess, Queen Elizabeth I was known as Bess.
Yes, a likely name. Would you talk a little bit about style in Just Take My Heart? One of the things that worked so well for me as a reader was that you write in the first person for different characters.
Yes.
Is that often a choice that you make, or was it particular?
It depends on the story. I have written only one book that was just in one person's viewpoint. I have written books where you were in the third person except for the main character. But as I start the book, I know the way I'm supposed to tell it, whether it's going to be all third person or whether there is going to be different viewpoints, multiple viewpoints. And I love multiple viewpoints because you can leave a character, hopefully with a cliffhanger, and then go to the next character and make the reader want to say, well, I want to see what's going to happen to her, down the line. It's a good way of telling a story. And because of writing radio shows, when I had to be either 2 minutes or 4 minutes, in radio, to the 10th of a second, I learned how to write succinctly, to find the word that did the work of 10 words. And that's necessary in suspense. If you have an epic novel, you can take your time. You can spend 3 days discussing the living room or talking about it. But in a novel, a suspense novel, you should give the reader a quick glance and let the reader fill in the details. My very first writing class, short story writing class, I was 22, I had just gotten married, and he said, he wrote many short stories, and he said I had one character in one of them, and everyone felt they knew that character, and they could describe him to me. He said the only way I described him was to say his stoic expression.
Interesting.
People fill in the blanks. Give them an outline, give them a silhouette, and to a great extent they'll fill in the blanks.
So you don't need to take that many things from real life, if you will, and imbue a character with them. You really just want to give an outline.
You want to tell the story. I was always impatient with detail. I'd always skip, with too much detail. I want to hear what they're saying. So you can do it very quickly with the way someone is dressed, You can say something about them. The person who is wearing a cardigan and matching cardigan set is not the same one who's wearing a kind of low-cut frilly blouse. You know immediately that this one is more adventurous or, pretty in the sense of looking in the mirror and studying it very carefully. And the other one is very sure of herself and dresses appropriately, she feels, for her job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you find that there are, so to speak, an optimum number of characters in a book? Too few, too many? Or is that just a variable that happens with the story?
It's a variable. I mean, I've had some that, Where Are the Children? There's a very small cast of characters. But that book took place in 14 hours. And you see, I like brevity when you can do it. And this one, she's given the trial, and the summer goes by very quickly. She's preparing for it. And then you get to the trial. You see, you don't go leaf by leaf and day by day, because you want to keep the reader running after you. You don't want to give them a chance to say, well, I'll pick it up next May.
Yes.
Although I have to tell you, Where Are the Children was my first one. And I had a letter from a 12-year-old kid at that time. And he wrote, Dear Mrs. Clark, I have read the first half of Where Are the Children? You are a wonderful writer. Someday I hope to read the second half.
Oh, what a wonderful letter. A wonderful fan letter. It's wonderful having you with us tonight. Thanks for getting us off to a great summer reading season with Just Take My Heart.
Thank you, Barbara.
I've been talking with Mary Higgins Clark. It's been delightful talking with her. I think you'll love picking up her novel as well as her daughter's novel. Carol Higgins Clark latest is Cursed. For more information, please go to wvxu.org. For Around Cincinnati, I'm Barbara Gray. Well, you ladies are wonderful.
Oh, well,
I haven't
thank
talked
you.
to
It
you
was
for
fun.
a long time.
It was just fun. May we sign these to you?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Sure
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you.